Hey guys, it's Rich. Yes, this is the Pagan Perspective. No, you did not accidentally click on my channel instead of the Pagan Perspective. Yes, this is Monday, and even though I have really good looks, of course Annie's are better. Some things have come up with Annie that was a scheduling conflict for her, so her and I decided to switch our Monday and Thursday spots to better accommodate her situation. And if she wants to tell everybody why her scheduling conflict has arisen, I'll let her do that because, well, that's her private life, and I don't think it would be kind to do such. So, and plus, as an afterthought, Annie always gave the good answers on Monday and didn't leave much meat on the bone for the rest of us. So, yeah. Put the guy that doesn't know anything first in the week and everybody else looks better. I hope that was funny for the rest of you and you didn't actually think that was serious. Anyway. Excuse me. The question this week comes from Hercules1. I think I pronounced that correctly. And he or she writes, I am just starting to learn about my practice in spirituality and faith. I am drawn towards the Celtic gods and goddesses. I am able to find information on them. However, putting this all into practice is something that makes me nervous and something I would like some assistance from. I was, prior to this, soul searching. I've embarked on an agnostic who was irreligious, so this is a new path for me. I often feel lost or confused and unsure as to what to do. So I am wondering if you could help, provide some help. Excuse that was a text message. I met a guy online and hopefully that was him. Yes, it was. Anyway, I'll answer that later. But as far as this question this week, I was going to provide you with the normal, everyday, you know, hey, here's this book to read and here's this book to read, and like you said, you've already found a lot of information, but from what I gather here, you're having a hard time on where or how to assemble it all into what you call your path. This is actually something that I've been dealing with since I started because I don't have a traditional Wiccan pagan path. So it's very different for me too, and I feel where you're coming from on this. The great thing is that you already have your gods and goddesses figured out. You feel very connected to them, or you feel very drawn to them, as you say here. And you're able to find information on them. That's great. You know, internet is chock full of information. Refer back to a couple weeks ago. You have to be careful of what you read because sometimes it's wrong. So be careful on what you read. I'm just going through the question here and trying to hit all the points. As far as putting everything into practice, that's something only you can figure out. Unfortunately, I cannot provide you with a clear-cut answer on anything. The way that I've done it is mass hysteria. You gather one thing from one area, put it in another area, and you mix it all up. It's like a recipe for cooking. It's a giant stew. You're just taking and borrowing different ingredients from different religions or different paths, let's say. The best way to actually not have a haphazard practice, though, which I kind of have one, I ping-pong from one thing to another quite often in my interests. The the greatest way, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I want to say it was Charlie, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, it was probably a little bit longer than that. There was a subs week where they had to answer the question of how do you, plan everything out, or how do you plan out your studying. And she gave a great answer. I want to say it was Charlie, pretty sure it was. And she said, get an agenda, a planner of some sort, and write down what you plan to study, and make it for about a week. And I think Brendan, said every 2 weeks or something like that. Find your happy medium of how long you wish to study a certain subject. Make sure it's not too long of a time span that you get so drawn out and you feel so bogged down by the same subject over and over and over. But, have it long enough that you're able to figure out what you believe from it. And once you figure out what you believe of it, by no means completely disregard that subject for the rest of your life, because your ideas will change, your path will change and will grow with you. However, what I suggest doing is, once you find out what everything means to you at that moment, in that time and place, write everything down. Write a little synopsis of what you believe. Like, say this week, and I just started today, I started my study on chakras. I want to deal more with chakras. I've opened and closed and balanced all my chakras before, and didn't have a full grasp. I had a general knowledge base of how to do it, but I didn't have the entire grasp of what chakras were. Like I said, I had a general knowledge, and that's what I went with. But for me, I'm doing a different chakra for each day, so within a week I'll be done with it. And then maybe on the 8th day I'll write a synopsis on what chakras mean to me, what I've gathered in the information. And you can always revisit this and go back and add or subtract anything from what you've learned. Complete it with correspondences. What stones, if you're doing a chakra balancing and you want to use certain stones in it, put down what stones correspond with you and what chakra it corresponds with. I think that would be the easiest way, and incorporate it into a year and a day. A lot of people do a year and a day study. I'm actually going to try doing a year and a day again. It didn't work out the first time because I had so much going on and I just lost track of everything. It was mass hysteria. Horrible. But I am going to try to do it again. So, in your year and a day study, if you choose to do one, that's completely up to you, then, plan everything out so it lasts about a year and a day. Or go get the book. I think it's called A Year and a Day, I want to say, is what it is. I have it somewhere around here, but maybe I'll put the the title and the author in the description bar below. So you say in here that that putting all these things into practice makes you nervous, and I can relate to that. This past, I believe it was Saturday, I was cleansing my new altar room and talking to my deity about being gay, and yes, I came out on YouTube on my personal channel. If you haven't seen it, yay for me. But I was talking to God because I was having some issues about dealing with homosexuality and my path, and I had an encounter with Pan. And so I've decided in my next ritual, most likely on the new moon, I will invoke Pan, which is the first time I've ever invoked a deity other than the Christian God or the Abrahamic God. So I am going to be honest, I'm plumb terrified. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, exactly how to take it. It has me very nervous, very on edge, and, you know what? I've thought about it, and I said, you know what, it's kind of the spice of life. It shakes your faith to the core, and when you come out still alive, you know that you're stronger. So, the most I can say is if it really truly makes you nervous, it really makes you on edge that you don't want to do it, then don't do it. You don't have to do anything. In order to consider yourself a pagan or a Wiccan, or you said the Celtic gods, maybe more into druidry, you don't have to, you know, do any of the more magical things. You can choose to just believe in a deity and respect the earth. You know, you don't have to be a magical pagan to be a pagan. So if it makes you truly uncomfortable, you don't have to do it. It's up to you. Okay, you also say that you often feel lost or confused and unsure as to what to do. As far as you feeling lost, that's not unusual. I kind of feel lost all the time in where my practice is going. I don't know. That's the joy and the wonderfulness of having a path that is less traveled than your Abrahamic religions, and that's probably what kind of spoke so true to me, was that you don't know where it's going. You don't know exactly which turns will take you where. On one of my online profiles for a dating site, as much as I hate them, it asks the question, would you rather have good things happen or interesting things happen? I said interesting because it's the spice of life. Not knowing where you're going in your path is a spice of life. It's what truly makes life worth living, finding out what's next. It's like reading a mystery novel and not knowing, you know, where it's going, and not knowing if the butler did it or the maid did it, or, you know, if it was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the conservatory, you know. It's unknown until the very, very end, whenever it all fits together. So with your path seeming confusing to you, I think it kind of should be. Yes, you should know the basics of what you believe, and that's why whenever I did my Book of Shadows video, I put in, and whenever I started my Book of Shadows, the first thing I wrote down is exactly what I believe, the unshaking faith that I hold true to, the root of what you believe. You know, that is the first thing I wrote in there after the book blessing. So, you know, finding out what truly rings true for you as a basis is very important. You need to find out what it is that you believe as a basis and build up from there. Your beliefs will change eventually, and if they don't, then, well, you had them pretty figured out before you started. But most likely, more than likely, they will change. And you just have to go with the flow, and you change that page when you need to. You know, you change that page in your Book of Shadows, when you need to change it. Until then, you know, the basis of what you believe, there's no need to change everything that you believe all at once. So, you're unsure what to do? Just go with the flow. Have a plan as far as how to study. Check back, I think I want to say it was about a month or so ago. It was a subs week. Go ahead and go back and check that. And the subs did a great job. Yeah, as far as any help beyond that, find out what your path is, or find out how to study your path in a way that fits for you. General recap. Find a way that fits for you. Get a basis written down of what your faith is. It'll help you tremendously. And once you have that basis, go on from there what you believe, what you don't believe, and then go on from there. You can add and subtract from it as you wish. Constantly read, you know, and that should be in your year and a day study if you choose to do one. At very least, it should be on your agenda if you choose to make one of those in your daily planner, what you choose to study, when you choose to study it, and just let the pieces fall where they will. And as far as being nervous, if you're truly uncomfortable with it, don't do it. But if you really want to try it and are still uncomfortable with it, try it out. You might enjoy it. It might help you with your... That was a pretty roundabout way of saying everything. I hope I got everything answered. I hope I can fill the high heels that Annie does. Actually, I don't think Annie wears high heels, but she might. I don't know. I've not seen her feet that often. I think I might have seen them in one video or so. If I don't fill Annie's shoes, whether they be high heels, slip-ons, or, you know, the ones with this little strapless backs that are really cute, then please let me know. Either way, you're, for now at least, stuck with me on Mondays. Sorry about that. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think. I liked reading your comments. I check them often. Even, you know, months later, I still check comments that were left on my video. So, yeah, I think I covered everything. Questions, comments in the description bar. I'll get you the Year in a Day book and author in the description bar, along with my personal channel, because I've started making a couple videos again after a long time of being away from it. So, really long video. Sorry, Cara, I know you hate these, but I think I answered everything. Until next time, may your ancestors be with you. Bye.